Mae Nak Phra Khanong. In the village of Phra Khanong along the Mae Phra River during the reign of King Rama IV, there lived a young woman named Nak who was deeply in love with her husband, Mek. They lived happily and longed for a complete family. One day, Nak discovered she was pregnant. Both were overjoyed and excited about having a child. However, an unexpected event occurred when Mek was drafted to serve in a war, leaving the pregnant Nak alone. On their last day together, they sat by the riverbank. Nak held Mek's hand tightly, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so scared that you won't come back. I'll wait for you forever." Mek reassured her with a gentle voice. "I will come back. I promise. We will be together as a family." This promise gave Nak the strength to endure her loneliness, even as fear and anxiety filled her heart. Nak prayed every day for her husband's safe return. Meanwhile, she led a lonely life, occasionally visited by neighbors. One stormy night, with thunder rumbling across the sky, Nak suddenly went into labor. She desperately called for help, but the neighbors were too afraid of the storm to leave their homes. Nak was forced to give birth alone in the dark, silent house. Tragically, she died along with her unborn child. Her spirit, filled with longing and anger, could not leave the mortal world. Mek's return from war was filled with a mix of relief and excitement, unaware of the tragedy that had struck his home. When he saw Nak waiting for him, he felt a flood of happiness, believing his family was finally complete. Nak's sweet smile and loving demeanor concealed the truth from him. The neighbors' repeated warnings were dismissed as mere superstitions. One night, while Mek was sitting in the house, he heard a distant baby crying. When he went to check, he saw Nak sitting and crying with a lifeless infant. Mek tried to comfort her, but in a moment, Nak turned to reveal a pale face and blood-red eyes. She screamed loudly, echoing through the house, terrifying Mek, who fled immediately. The neighbors, in their sorrow and pity for Mek, once again tried to warn him. "Mek, don't you know Nak is dead? Don't go back to that house." Mek, heartbroken and confused, struggled to accept the reality. Mek, driven by love and a glimmer of hope, went back to the house one last time. As he sat under the house, he watched Nak cooking upstairs. She accidentally dropped a lime, which rolled under the house. Mek saw Nak coming down, but instead of walking around the house, she extended her arm through the wooden floorboards, her arm stretching unnaturally long to retrieve the lime. Mek felt a chill to his bones, realizing this was not something a human could do. The horrifying truth dawned on him. He had been living with a ghost, not the wife he once knew. The realization of Nak's true state shattered Mek's heart. The memories of their happy moments together, Nak's laughter, and the promise he made to her now filled him with profound sorrow. He could not save her. He could not keep his promise. In his desperation, Mek sought help from a monk skilled in magic. The monk explained that Nak's spirit couldn't move on due to her love and attachment to Mek, coupled with the anger from her lonely death. The monk needed to perform a ritual to calm her spirit and help her find peace. On the night of the ritual, Nak appeared in a rage, unleashing terrifying power. The houses in the village trembled. the monk used incantations and talismans to protect Make and the villagers. As the ritual began, the monk chanted powerfully. Nak's rage started to subside. The monk spoke to her. Mick still loves you. He hasn't abandoned you. These words made Nak weep. She turned to Make with tear-filled eyes. Finally, she let go of her anger and moved on to a peaceful realm. After the ordeal, Meg returned to his life in Phra Khanong, but he never forgot the love and bond he had with Nak. Whenever he looked at the sky, he could see Nak smiling at him. Nak's story became a legend, passed down through generations. A tale of enduring love, attachment, and sorrow that lasted until the end.